Semitic this, anti-Semitic that, non-Semitic this. I'm 27 years old. I didn't even know, or never even heard of Semitic until about maybe 3 weeks ago. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've done no research on this. Just literally typed in the word Semitic in Google and found out that it's something to do with Hebrew or the Jews or something like that. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. It's cool. I ain't done no research. I'm ignorant. But I've heard black people talk about Semitic or anti-Semitic, Israelites. Black people are the real Israelites or the real Jews or something like that. Our identity has been stolen. Do you know why I don't care about none of that business? How is that helping me? Just check it. Just really deep it. Like, how is I gonna benefit from knowing whether or not I'm a real Israelite or I'm a real Hebrew or a real Semitic, Kemetic, anti-Kemetic? How is that helping me as of today? How's that helping me achieve my goals? Buy a property. Earn lots of money. Even get educated. How is any of that stuff helping me? I got educated. I bought my own property. Earned lots of money at work. All without knowing the origins of my culture or whatever. How is really knowing about that stuff really gonna help any of the black people of today? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? There's black people still pissed off that whether it's true or not, I don't know, and it don't even affect me because I don't care. That maybe white people went over to Africa and stole some sacred crown jewels or something like that. Yeah, it's bad that they went over there and stole crown jewels and stuff like that. Yeah, I get it. But whether or not the jewelry, the precious gold, all the rocks and gems and jades and sapphires and rubies, whether or not they were stolen, regardless of whether they're returned, how is that helping me as a black man? How is that helping you as a black woman or a black man? Really and truly, how is it helping you? If they returned all the gold, all the money that they stole from Africa, how's that helping you? Is that going to get you an education? Is that going to get you a property? Is that going to put your children through private school or get them a private tutor? Is that going to buy you the Mercedes or the Balenciagas that you worship? There's people out here, they're still vexed that, white people have gone over to Egypt and, knocked the noses off the sphinxes and stuff or whatever. Okay, right. But how is that helping you? Yeah, they're trying to steal people's identity and shit like that, but how's that affecting you? How is that changing your life? Honestly, it's bad, but sometimes I think certain black people need to stay away from the history and the truth because it just turns them mad. Who's ever seen that video of that crazy black woman in America in some kind of, I don't know, supermarket. I know it probably ain't Walmart, but it was a supermarket, and she was just standing there looking like a crazy woman, and this white man who she's staring at has turned around and said, like, what's up? And she was like moving all mad, like, don't, what's your problem or whatever in it. And she said some crazy stuff like, yeah, you robbed me back in 400 years ago and some craziness like that. You know the video I'm talking about. You must have seen it. That all comes from reading too much of these books. I'm not saying don't get educated, but I'm saying don't read into it too much because it will turn you mad. Programs like Roots, films like Roots, documentaries like Roots. Certain times I think, boy, certain times I think them books, they need to be stored in Pandora's box and locked away from black people, because all it turns black people is mad. Turns black people crazy. Ever seen that film, that Amstrad or whatever? I just remember there was one bad, terrible scene where they're on the boat, and I can't remember what happened. I don't know if they're whipping black people or the black people, the African slaves, got away or whatever. Something like that. Them scenes in them films there, they draw emotion out of, man. I remember when I was in school and I first watched that Amstrad or whatever it's called, and I saw a bit of Roots at the same time. That made me angry at white people. Yeah, the great Jay Wise was angry at white people just for that maybe day or so or whatever. Yeah. How can I be angry at people who had nothing to do with slavery? How are you angry at white people of today because their ancestors stole from our ancestors? It's not their fault. And I know people say, well, yeah, give the stuff back. Maybe they should give the stuff back, yeah. But how is that helping any of the black people of today? Black people want to cry and moan about reparations. But how is getting reparations going to help black people of today? How will reparations stop black people from killing each other on the streets? How will reparations make a lot of black men want to be in their children's lives? Because I can't see how reparations can stop black people from killing each other and black men wanting to be in their children's lives. Instead of, riding around town and breeding this gal and that gal. And that's why honestly, I believe we don't need reparations. Because in the long run, it's not going to help no one. They could slap every black person on 60 grand a year, whatever, free money. It won't be enough. Why is it only 60? It should be 70 grand a year. It won't be enough. You can return all of the jewels and all the stuff that they stole from Africa. How's that going to help black people? We need reparations to our minds. It's the same thing as giving a fucking idiot £1 million. You've heard about them jackasses that have won the lottery, and 2 years later they're broke. Won millions of pounds, 10 million, 50 million, and a couple of years later they're broke. Because in that time their mind hasn't grown. They still got those bad spending habits. They haven't mastered how to save money and utilize money. So it's just going to go to waste. Same thing with reparations. Until black people change their mind and wise up, change their ways, you can return everything back to Africa. You can put all black people on 60 grand a year. Free money. It's not going to help nobody. We need reparations to our minds. We don't need no monetary reparations. That ain't going to help nobody. Because all that will happen if you put everyone get free money or this return back to Africa, then man will just be killing each other with Balenciagas on, which they probably are already doing anyway. But back to the original topic. I don't business about all this anti-Semitic, all this, who's the real Israelites and whatever. Bro, this is people's problem. You're focused on the wrong thing. Yeah, it's good to know your history. Yeah, I get it. It's good to know your history. Yeah. If you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going. Yeah. Man get it. Still on it. That statement's kind of mad, you know. If you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going. So like Jay Wise is not too educated on like the black history and that. And look how far I've got. That's also a man who's pissed around and wasted time on the streets and been to prison for a short period of time, but wasted a lot of time doing nothing. And look how far I've got. So a man has been to prison and messed around on the streets, been in a gang, and he doesn't know his history, and he's at a certain point in his life that people in their 40s are not at. And, you know, he doesn't know his history, he's been to jail and that. So imagine if, quote unquote, I was educated and I knew about my history, because in order to know where you're going, you need to know where you come from. Imagine how far ahead I would be. Fucking hell, I'd be a billionaire, right? Nah. You don't need to know where you come from to know where you're going as such. Even if you're an uneducated black person on black history, you are not an inferior black person. If you are an educated black person on black history, you are not a superior black person. Yeah, you're well read. Yeah, you're well educated in that sector, but what's education without ambition? So you know all of this Israelites and this anti-Semitic, Semitic, non-Semitic, all this stuff. But in your day-to-day life, how is that information helping you? When you go to the bank and ask them for a mortgage, and they say, sorry, sir, or sorry, madam, you don't meet the criteria. What are you going to turn around and say? I know about my history. I know where I come from, so I know where I'm going. To this bank. How's that helping you? It's good to know. It's good to know. Yeah. It's not the be all and end all. I don't even bother myself with all like who's the real Israelites and all that shit. All that's going to do is just turn people mad. And we don't need no more mad black people roaming the streets of this. Yeah? We don't need no more mad black people on the streets. There's enough mad black people. That's why they have a chip on their shoulder when it comes to the police. It seems like 99.9% of black people roaming this earth feel like they are oppressed. Like the world is against them just because of the colour of their skin. It's bullshit. It's an excuse. It's an excuse for failure. What am I going to say? When you fail an exam, why do you fail that exam? Oh, because, 600 years ago, the white people came to Africa and stole the jewels. So say, I don't bother with reading up on this history, that. I don't really give a fuck, man. I want to know what's happening now. What's relevant now? Yeah. History ain't helping me. Stay wise.